The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parx Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
Welcome to Let's Go Racing. I'm Danny Gibson. We're joining you with Dick Girardi, and we're coming to you from Parx Racing. On today's show, we have our new PTHA Executive Director, Jeff Maddie, joining us here on set. Stick around and meet him, and lots of great stakes races from around the country. And it was a great racing week here at Parx as well.
It was indeed, Danny. I know you were here for all of it.
I was, and I'm really excited about our local race. Let's jump right into it. It was Monday's 8th race here at Parx, a $45,000 allowance race for fillies and mares going a mile and 70. Our post-time favorite is number 2, Peyton Elizabeth at 3-5 for trainer Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera.
Yeah, solid. Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera. Do they win any races around here?
They certainly do. Well, I think she's a vulnerable favorite. I like the number 7 horse. It's So Easy, 2-1. Our second choice with Jockey Michael Sanchez for Lupe Preciado.
And there's a group that wins some races together.
Absolutely.
Michael and Lupe.
Absolutely. He calls it Lupe Power. Well, here's the call of our local race of the week with track announcer Chris Griffin.
They work around this first turn. No easy leads here. Sail Above is the neck in front of Peyton Elizabeth, who's down at the rail, is in second. 3 wide. Here comes It's So Easy to challenge, and It's So Easy is going to come up to these leaders. They're 3 across the racetrack. Watching that action is Sense a Million, then Assume Controls in the red cap in 5th. Another 3. Back to Caddy LaBelle in the trailer. Miss Loyalty. Peyton Elizabeth is the new leader. Sail Above is now back to second, challenged by It's So Easy, who claims that second position. 23-3 for that pressured opening quarter. They've got less than a half mile to go now. It's So Easy is taking the lead from Peyton Elizabeth, who comes on back to the inside and puts a head right back in front. It's So Easy back to second. Assume Control is chasing rivals now. Sail Above. At the rail is Sense a Million, who's losing ground. Then Caddy LaBelle, the trailer. Miss Loyalty, It's So Easy, and Peyton Elizabeth, they still go at it. Assume Control is under a full drive from third. It's So Easy is taking the lead. Peyton Elizabeth back to second. Assume Control continues to chase this leader. It's So Easy at the top of the stretch, kicks for home. It's So Easy's got plenty up front. Assume Control is right there in second. Peyton Elizabeth battles on down towards the inside. It's So Easy has an 8th to go and is widening with every stride.
And It's So Easy and Jockey Michael Sanchez get their 6th win together, 4 in a row. And I was talking to Jockey Michael Sanchez on the walk back to the winner's circle. He said he really figured this filly out.
Obviously.
She likes to be out in the clear and be put in the race, and boy, he has her number.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, it's time for us to head to our first break, but when we come back, we're going to have our PTHA Executive Director, Jeff Maddie, joining us. Don't miss it. We'll be right back on Let's Go Racing.
I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to see behind the ropes. Not everyone gets that opportunity.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parx Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parx Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parx Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parx Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parx Racing mobile app and get in on the action.
Breeding thoroughbreds is a complicated business, but one that is done for the love of the horse and the sport of horse racing. Founded in 1948, the Pennsylvania Horse Breeders Association is a not-for-profit organization focused on the breeding and care of thoroughbred horses. PHBA is responsible for managing all aspects of the Pennsylvania Breeding Fund and the official registration, marketing, and promotion of Pennsylvania-bred thoroughbred racehorses. PHBA works with industry leaders to help bring reform and benefits to breeders, owners, racetracks, and the general public. Breeding thoroughbreds is a unique and gratifying lifestyle, one that allows participants an experience unmatched in its emotional intensity and in the enduring social relationships it forges. Whether you're currently a breeder or considering getting involved in this exciting industry, the Pennsylvania Horse Breeders Association can help in your quest to master the complexities of breeding a thoroughbred.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing, and joining us now is our new PTHA Executive Director, Jeff Maddie. We're very happy to have him with us here, joining Dick and I. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you so much. I couldn't be more happy to join the PTHA to represent our horsemen going forward. It's a dream come true, and I was so happy to accept the job and even be offered in the first place.
Well, we're thrilled to have you, and we have to start from the beginning. You know, it all starts with us falling in love with horse racing, and we'd love to hear your story of how you got into horse racing.
Absolutely. I fell in love with racing right here at Philadelphia Park. I fell in love on Saturday mornings. My father always had a few horses growing up as a kid, and he'd bring me over here on Saturday mornings. We'd watch the horses train. Then we'd go out to breakfast and discuss kind of like race strategy and stable management strategy. And like I said, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to see behind the ropes. Not everyone gets that opportunity. It's something in racing, we need to bring people, behind the ropes to see what really goes on. But I had a first-hand experience, and I couldn't help but love it from day one.
Jeff, a St. Joe's graduate, and then you work with another St. Joe's graduate, Joe Bessaker, for years as his stable manager, among other things. What did you learn from Joe, and what did you learn about the game in that part of your job?
Joe Bessaker was a blessing for me in my career. Right out of school, I worked, this was my first job at Parx. I was a racing official in the office. From Parx, then I went to Monmouth Racetrack. So I learned sort of the backbone of how the industry works. I learned how a racing office operates, how they, card races and stuff. So I really got a first-hand experience there, Dick. And then going from there, Joe Bessaker hired me as a stable manager the day after the Pennsylvania Derby in 2014, when California Chrome ran here. So I started working for Joe back then, and honestly, Joe has taught me everything, how to operate at Parx, how to operate at Penn National. We've had horses all the way from Philadelphia to California to Florida to Saratoga. So Joe really gave me a great landscape of how racing works and the connections he introduced me to. Like I said, Doug O'Neill out in California, Scott Lake here, the list goes on and on. So it was a blessing for my career, and I could not be more thankful for Joe and the opportunity that he gave me years ago.
Yeah, I wrote about that on Let'sGoRacingParks.com this summer. Joe went over 1,000 wins as an owner, and you were part of a lot of them.
He reached 1,000 wins this past August out in California. Divas finale, Trevor Denman called him home. That was a great moment for Joe, a great moment for us. I was with Joe for just over 750 wins, so it was great. It was a great run, and like I said, I enjoyed every single day. And the most important part, and the part I liked the best, was the interactions with the horsemen. And this position is a great transition to that. Like I said, dealing with all of Joe's trainers, we've had as much as 15 to 20 on the payroll at one time. So I understand the challenges. I understand what they go through on a daily basis. And for me to now accept this position, I think it gave me the experience necessary to sort of, go to bat for them on a daily basis now, knowing what they go through.
So you've been on the job for a little over a week as we're talking. What has it been like so far, and what do you see down the road?
It's been great. I've kept the door open all week long. It's been an open door policy. People have coming in, introduced themselves. For those horsemen that I knew, it's been great to kind of reconnect, and I encourage all the horsemen. You know where my office is. I'd love to meet each and every one of you within the coming weeks. So I want to do what's best for the horsemen, and the best way to do that is to get to know them as best as possible. And like I said, I encourage any comments, concerns, questions. I'm here all the time, and I just love to help the horsemen.
And I know you are so grateful for this position, and I know you keep saying you take it seriously, you don't take it lightly, and I know you wanted to thank Mr. Bellezzi.
Oh, for sure. Mr. Bellezzi, like I said, he did so much for this program, so much for Pennsylvania racing as a whole. I just want to thank him. Everyone says, oh, you have huge shoes to fill. In fairness to Mr. Bellezzi, they're not fillable. So I want to do the best I can. I want to take what he's established here, and I want to, carry it forward and make him proud. And Connie Yeomans, 50 years of experience combined walked out that door on the same day. So we're going to do the best we can. I promise you that with our staff. We have great staff here, and we're going to do the best we can going forward. And I look forward to continuing what they did. I look forward to maybe changing things up a little bit here and there just to couple little changes, but we're going to do what's best for the horsemen day in and day out, and I promise you that. And like you said, it's not a 9-to-5 job, and I fully signed up for that. And being a racing manager sort of opened that experience for me there, because that's not a 9-to-5 job either. So you get calls at the crack of dawn, and you get calls late at night with California time. So I'm fully ready to dive in, and this is not a job. It's going to be a career move for me, and hopefully one that lasts a long time. Hopefully, even a fraction of Mr. Bolesi's tenure here, I'd be proud to say I held that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we're so excited to have you. We know that you're going to help make Pennsylvania the best it can be in horse racing. Thanks for joining Dick and I today. And we're going to head into our national coverage brought to you by the Chapman Auto Group. If their emblem is not on the back of your car or truck, well, you probably did pay too much. And our first race is at Aqueduct, the $100,000 Safe Florida Sandy Stakes for New York breds, going 7 furlongs. And our favorite is our boy, My Boy Tate, the even money from Michelle Nevin. Love this horse.
Yeah, My Boy Tate ran 4th in this race last year, 5th in the race 2 years ago, and won it in 2018. So he's very familiar with the Safe Florida Safety.
And he's a regular here at Parx.
Yep.
And our second choice at 5-2 is a Lobster for Gary Siaka, getting Javier Castellano, who came up from Gulfstream to ride this horse.
That was interesting. You don't usually leave the warmth of Gulfstream. Obviously, Javier thought he was on a live horse here.
Here's the call of the Safe Florida Sandy Stakes.
Alpha Cairo leads here by 3/4 of a length. Battle Station in pursuit in second, with Lobster on the outside in third. The quarter went in 22 and 4/5 seconds. Alpha Cairo, the leader here, with Battle Station running in second. Lobster's on the outside in third. It's 3 lengths to My Boy Tate and Chestertown. Farther back is Saratoga Pal there, midway around the far turn. Alpha Cairo by a head. Battle Station is right alongside in second. In behind, the trio of Lobster, My Boy Tate. Down at the rail is Chestertown. And now they're at the top of the stretch. My Boy Tate is in tight there as the field heads for home. And on the outside it is Battle Station coming away with a narrow lead. My Boy Tate trying to squeeze on through. Alpha Cairo drops back on the outside. Is Lobster now. Chestertown has to check down at the rail. Here is Lobster. Here is My Boy Tate. And the two of them are going at it again. My Boy Tate on the inside. Lobster on the outside. They come on for the finish. And My Boy Tate wins it this time.
Well, Lobster gets the win by disqualification. I mean, you hate to take that away from My Boy Tate. What are your thoughts here? I don't know if I like this call.
I'm not a big fan of disqualifications in general, Danny. Even by my standards, this was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, look, My Boy Tate was in a battle with a bunch of other horses. There was bumping all over the place. Yes, Chestertown checked, but he wasn't going to go anywhere anyway. So they said, well, he might have cost him a placing. Our whole rules are messed up. The rest of the world, other than North America, would never disqualify a horse like this. Unfortunately, we did, and there's that. And hopefully, Safe Florida Sand will be back in 2023 to try again.
Yeah, well, it worked out good for our boy Danny Velasquez.
Yes.
With Battle Station got moved from 3rd to 2nd,
Yes.
so happy for him. And Lobster getting the win, but poor My Boy Tate down to 4th. Well, let's head to the Sunshine State at Gulfstream Park.
Can we go now? Can we leave right this minute?
We're going right now. Pause, Bruce. It's the Grade 3 Tropical Turf Stakes going 1 mile, and our favorite is Largent for Todd Pletcher, who's having a big Gulfstream Park championship.
He is having an unbelievable start to the meet. Now, Largent hasn't run since winning the Pegasus Turf back in January, so he's been off for a year, or finishing second, excuse me. But this is a really good horse. Tells you how good Todd is. The horse hasn't run in a year, and he's an odds-on favorite.
Our second choice is Value Proposition. Chad Brown gets Irider Ortiz, who's back riding down at Gulfstream after his little hiatus from his days at 2-1.
Yeah, and he was kind of contrite and kind of not contrite, basically saying, I'm sorry I got caught, but he's back, and Value Proposition, obviously a very good horse for one of the best turf trainers in the history of the sport.
He certainly is. Well, my man Pete Aiello with the call of the Grade 3 Tropical Turf.
Opening half mile in the books, and they continue to trade blows on the front end. The opening half was 46-4. Belgrano is 3 wide. Nearest the rail, clear vision. Flying Scotsman is next. Now the heavy hitters start to get underway, and they're getting underway side by side with Value Proposition inside of Largent. Then it's a gap of 3 to Colkert. The trailer is Fat Man. The leader is still clear vision. Belgrano is right alongside. Flying Scotsman is next. Value Proposition and Largent are next after 3/4. In 1:10-4, they turn for home. It's Belgrano and Clear Vision. They're still the targets. From third, that's Value Proposition. From fourth and Largent, eighth of a mile to go. Clear Vision is finding. Clear Vision leads by 2.
Clear Vision and jockey Julian Leperoux broke on top, and they kept it going for a nice win in this race.
Yeah, it was interesting. He was carried all the way around, Danny, by that 45 to 1 shot Belgrano. You figure at some point the favorites, who both were running in behind, would come and get him. Never happened. And how about this 23-year-old trainer, Matthew O'Connor, with his first stakes win, second off a claim for $25,000.
And he has a 4-horse barn.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Very cool.
Really exciting for him. Hopefully a promising new trainer we're going to hear a lot more about. Well, let's head to Santa Anita. It's the Grade 2 Santa Ynez Stakes for 3-year-old fillies going 7 furlongs. I'm sure we're going to see some of these on the Kentucky Oaks Trail. And our favorite is Under the Stars for Bob Baffer, who probably won't be able to run in the Kentucky Oaks with jockey Flavien Prat.
Yeah, I mean, he can get all the points he wants, but at the moment he's banned from Churchill Downs. But Under the Stars, certainly a very solid horse. Comes off a maiden win for the incredibly hot Flavien Prat.
Oh, you said that right. And our second choice is Big Switch for trainer John Sadler. Johnny Velasquez getting the mount 8-5, second choice right now.
Yeah, this is a really nice horse. 2 big wins, including the Golden State Juvenile right on Breeders' Cup weekend, and I couldn't have been more impressed with Big Switch.
Nice big field for California racing, and at least we have 6 horses. But here's the call to Santa Ynez Stakes.
Around the far turn, Under the Stars on even terms with Miss Maddie B. Big Shamrock is asked to keep pace third. Awake at Midnight in the thick of it, moves up on the outside to claim that third spot, and they're followed by Big Switch, who's 5 off the lead, a quarter of a mile to go. Awake at Midnight on the outside, launching a nice bid. Under the Stars at the rail. Under the Stars spurts clear a length and a half with a furlong left to go. Awake at Midnight comes right to her. Behind them, Miss Maddie B. Awake at Midnight or Under the Stars. Under the Stars clinging to a very narrow lead. Awake at Midnight within a half length, but it's Under the Stars too strong.
Under the Stars getting the win with jockey Flavien Prat. I mean, she broke alertly. She kept going. Nice chase for second place Awake at Midnight, but couldn't get the job done.
Yeah, I think Flavien was not thrilled with the rail because obviously she had to be used the entire way, but she just kept running, as you said, Danny. And how hot is Flavien Prat? How about 21 of 54 to start the meet, a cool 39%. Johnny V, 17 of 46, 37%. So if you're just betting on these two, they've had 100 mounts and they've won 38. You can do the math. That's 38%.
That's a lot of races. And Under the Stars by Pioneer of the Nile, another big horse that Bob trained by Pioneer of the Nile, American Pharaoh.
Rather nice horse back in 2015.
Be interesting to see what she does. But it's time for us to head to a break. When we come back, we're going to have our jockey and trainer of the week and lots more stakes to recap for you. Stick around. Let's Go Racing will be right back.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided nearly 2,800 former racehorses with a safe retirement. The program was created through the foresight of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
We all love animals, and to give back to something that helps us so much, it's a great thing.
Responding to the need for a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retiring equine population at Parx Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
These horses can do anything from hunter jumpers to western to therapeutic riding.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
We want to make sure that our horses that have run so well for us over the years get the great opportunity to get a new vocation.
Out of everything that we've done in Pennsylvania for racing, I think that's the thing we can be most proud of.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please give us a call or contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Our jockey and trainer of the week is brought to you by Turning for Home, our racehorse retirement program right here at Parx Racing. We have another great Turning for Home spotlight horse to share with you. If you only knew, she's a beautiful chestnut mare. She was retired by trainer Lou Linder and raced mostly all of her races here at Parx. She retires with a really nice record of 34 starts, 4 wins, 5 seconds, and 5 thirds. And she's with her forever home down in Maryland, Elizabeth Copeland at Cleveland Yard. And they just adore this mare, as you can see. She said she's everything someone could ask for. Brave, bold, and kind, talented, but has the best brain. And they're actually going to breed her and continue to ride her. And she's part of their family, and she just loves to jump, and she's been training in dressage, so happy for her.
Very cool.
Love sharing those with you. And our jockey of the week, we have to give it to Ruben Silvera. I mean, he's literally starting 2022 just like he did last year.
And he dominated, obviously won the jockey's title last year easily.
And he's riding up at Aqueduct on the weekends. I mean, he's riding 7 days a week, no days off. Good for you, Ruben. You got to be exhausted.
Exhausted, but happy.
But rich, too. And our trainer of the week is Lou Linder. I mean, he had a couple wins on Monday. And Lou, you know, we see a lot of these horses, he brings them down from Woodbine, and he's putting them in really competitive spots.
Look, Lou has been sharp for a long time, continues to be, knows how to win, knows how to put the horses in the right spot.
He certainly is, starting the new year off with a bang. Let's jump into some race recap brought to you by the Ptha Stable. Check them out, pthastable.com. A great partnership. Give them a call. Become an owner today. Let's head to Aqueduct, the Big A. It's the $100,000 Rego Park Stakes, 6.5 furlongs for our New York bred 3-year-olds.
Yeah, G Munning is the big favorite, the 2-horse, but kind of got off bad, was never really comfortable in the race. Only start before was loose on the lead. This time it's Reese on the far outside, the 5 for Mike Maker. Hasn't run since May because he had knee chip and surgery, but just rolls by this field, wins pretty comfortably, and the favorite is absolutely nowhere when he couldn't make the lead.
Yeah, I love that outside move he made, and Dylan Davis really getting to show his stuff, and he really is one of the top jockeys for good reason. We're going to head to Oaklawn Park. It's the $150,000 Pippin Stakes going 1 mile for our fillies and mares, and it's all about the #1 coach.
Yeah, completely dominated the race from start to finish, Danny. Ricardo Santana puts his horse in the front for Brad Cox, and they're just never going to get to this filly. She had a pretty good year as a 3-year-old filly. I mean, she was solid, ran against some of the better 3-year-old fillies, and this time just loose on the lead and long gone in the Pippin for coach.
Can I ask you something? Does it rain every weekend at Oaklawn Park?
Yes, that's one of the rules. It must rain at Oaklawn Park.
They must have good raincoats out there.
Hopefully Trish has a couple of umbrellas.
Yeah, and her toboggan. Jeez. Well, we're going to head to Santa Anita Park on the hillside turf. It's the Las Ciénegas on the downhill turf course. It's a grade 3 going $100,000 going 6.5 furlongs. And this is a really solid field of fillies and mares.
Yeah, and I love the downhill course. I'm glad they got everything straightened out and it's safe again to run down. It's 0 tolerance to 7. Prompting the pace, takes over at the stretch with that man again, Flavien Prat. But here comes Tapwater, the 1. I mean, it's just the gray on the outside, just rolling at the finish. Going to get there? No. 0 tolerance, holds on at the wire.
And we have another trainer getting his first stakes win, Ruben Alvarado. Good for him.
Yeah, and he, of course, was a longtime assistant to the recently retired Peter Miller.
Oh, I thought that name sounded familiar. There you go. Well, it's time for Eye on Racing. We have 2 $100,000 stakes today at the Big A, the Franklin Square in the Interborough, and it's Sunshine Millions Day down at Florida.
Yeah, it's always a cool day down at Gulfstream Park.
Classic and the Sprint. And it's all about the California breds out at Santa Anita. They have 5 stakes, all for California breds. Of course, my favorite California bred was California Chrome.
Everybody's favorite California bred was California Chrome. I think that was the highlight of this racetrack at the Pennsylvania Derby when he came in 2014.
Absolutely. I was such a chromie, and hope Art Sherman's enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Me too. One of my favorite people I ever met in a game.
Well, it's time for us to head to our final break. When we come back, news and notes. We'll see you just on the other side of this break. If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parx Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parx Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parx Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parx Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parx Racing mobile app and get in on the action.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
the hard-working folks who
proudly earn our living
In Pennsylvania's horse racing
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
But it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs and billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Did you know absolutely no taxpayer dollars support the Pennsylvania horse racing industry? In fact, racing generates $1.6 billion that pays taxes, creates jobs, and more, right here in Pennsylvania.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parx Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parx is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Our news and notes is brought to you by the Granny Fund, which provides continuing education for our backstretch community. 2 words, Da Hoss.
30-year-old DeHaas just passed away. It was January 2nd. What a great life he had down at the Kentucky Horse Park, Danny, and one of the absolute greatest days I ever spent at a racetrack was November 7th of 1998, the Breeders' Cup Mile. Michael Dickinson brought this horse back after a 2-year layoff. I was on the turf course the night before. I wrote about the great DeHaas on Let'sGoRacingParks.com this week. And here's the stretch call, one of Tom Durkin's all-time great calls of the 98 Breeders' Cup Mile.
Reigning Horse of the Year, Favorite Trick is right there, and Ptha is moving with Favorite Trick. As they approach the top of the stretch, they are in front, the short lead. Flight of the Stars is just in behind them, and a host of pursuers are coming on. The horse is in with a chance on the outside. Second Empire, Hawksley Hill is now coming hard. Labib is finding his best stride late. Joyeux Venture on the outside, nothing left for Favorite Trick. It is the horse and Hawksley Hill. Hawksley Hill into Hood. Hawksley Hill forges a short lead. The horse is game as they come, coming down to the line. Spine single stretch ride. The horse comes back.
Certainly one of the coolest horses ever. I love those turf milers.
No question, and I might have cashed a rather large bet that day, Danny. In fact, they might have had to send down for money at the old Churchill Downs press box numerous times. Michael Dickinson said all week he's going to win, and I believed him. Michael, of course, says is the Ptha farm down in Northeast Maryland, and this horse was a great advertisement, as I wrote about, for the Ptha surface, which is the safest surface around. And DeHaas, one of the all-timers that just passed away after a great run at the Kentucky Horse Park at 30 years old.
And so many stories that just go in that. There was even a bet within the jockeys because Gary Stevens.
Yep. Oh yeah, it was what Gary had ridden him in '96 when he won the mile up at Woodbine, and then Johnny V. It was one of Johnny V's first big wins, that Breeders' Cup Mile that year.
What a really cool horse. I'm so glad I got to see him at the Kentucky Horse Park. Well, come check us out. We race here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at Parx. Post times 12:10 until January 17th. Then we go to post time 12:25. Catch all of the action on the PTHA social medias. We're always trackside. Thanks so much for joining Dick and I. We look forward to seeing you next week on Let's Go Racing.